Hello, everybody. This is E. Marcel Platoon, and welcome to another edition of the Fighting Peaches. On this edition, we were able to speak and have the pleasure of interviewing Georgia Tech softball player Mallorie Black and delve into her potentially record-setting season for the Yellow Jackets. Before we get to that interview, as always, to follow everything that we do, head to the mothership, the sportsinquirer.net, premier site for news and notes in the world of sports. You can also go to our social media platforms on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Make sure you like and subscribe and share our content from there. We greatly appreciate it. As you see, we're going for 1,000 subscribers, at least 1,000 subscribers, and much more. So make sure you go on there and support what we're doing. And finally, you can also find us on various platforms where you listen and watch your content, including YouTube, SoundCloud, Spotify, and much more. So as I mentioned, we were able to speak with Georgia Tech softball player Mallorie Black a few hours ago on April 16th, 2024. Let's get right to the interview and enjoy. Okay, Sports Inquirer here with Mallorie Black, infielder for Georgia Tech softball. Mallorie, thank you for joining us. You're joining us on game day, so we greatly appreciate you setting aside some time for us. We wanted to speak with you because you've had a stellar season, and we'll take you to your last contest, the game-winning home run against Louisville. Take me back to that at-bat, ninth inning, a runner on base, and you're able to deliver that game-winning home run.
Yes, thank you for having me. It was obviously very exciting, but I think we were all just ready for it to be over. Obviously, it was the ninth inning, but I had seen that pitcher a couple times in the weekend, and she had beat me a few times, so I was very eager to get a pitch over the plate that I could drive and hopefully do a good job for my team. But I definitely think Kenzie Norton, our pitcher, through those extras, definitely kept us in it and put us in a good spot to win the game. And Jen obviously had an awesome game too, and she was on base, and I could see her over there cheering me on, letting me know I got it. So it was super exciting.
You can see the highlight of her encouraging you from first base. It was a 2-0 count, a hitter's count. Now, when I talk to a lot of athletes, especially with baseball or softball, and it's like when you try to hit a home run, majority of the time you don't, especially when you're aggressive on the 2-0 count. Were you looking to hit a home run? You still mentioned maybe driving the ball. Did you have any intentions when you were hitting the ball to what to do with it?
Not necessarily hit a home run, but definitely drive it as hard as I can. And wherever it's pitched, that one was middle. So hit as hard as I can up the middle. Luckily, I got under it enough where it did go out. But no, that was definitely not the intent, but just the best outcome. So.
Yeah, and you have 18 home runs as we're recording this today on April 16th. Oh, leading the leading the one of the leaders in the nation, lead the conference in RBIs. What has been the approach this year? As opposed to your previous years, you're having your best power numbers overall. Was there something to change in the offseason? Have you found more comfort at the plate, or at the what's been the difference this year for you?
I think just being confident and aggressive has been the biggest factor in that. And Coach Hunter has allowed me a lot of freedom with my swing, whatever feels best for me. He's just gonna let me do it. And then me and him will just find what approach against each pitcher will look like for me. And he's very intentional about communicating with each player in the way that they need it. So we found kind of our best communication ways. And so I just feel confident because I have a good plan, and I know that if I get a pitch I want, I'm going to put the most aggressive, hard swing on it. So I think that's been the biggest change for me.
You have 18 home runs as for this season as we speak, two away from 20, which has only been achieved only a handful of times, and you'd be the first Yellow Jacket, I believe, since 2011. Are you aware of those statistics? And as I said, leading the conference in RBIs, are you aware of these numbers that you are producing?
Only after I see it on Twitter from our account or our fan accounts, which is really exciting. Try and not think about it too much. But yeah, it's definitely really cool, really exciting. Definitely giving me a little bit of motivation to keep swinging it hard, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, your slugging is at 838 and Beth Allen's at 803. So you have two players on the team slugging over 800, and you're as a team putting up offensive numbers not seen in years. What's it been about just the offensive production of the team you think that's been leading to this success? What do you think some of the factors have been?
I think we are just more aggressive on pitches over the middle of the plate. Like you see Dauber, she swings so hard at strikes, which has been, or Madison Dobbins, excuse me, but she swings so hard at pitches over the plate, which I think kind of sets a pitcher back a little bit. Like, ooh, I don't know if I want to pitch to these girls. Sarah Beth Allen, same way. If she connects with the ball, it's going 400 feet. So I think anything that we see over the plate, we know we can hit to all sides of the field. We're not like too picky at the plate. We're a very aggressive team and we just take hacks, I guess.
And the team has 11 conference wins, as I mentioned, as of recording this. You've already surpassed last year's ACC win total. You have a winning record in conference play. What have been some of the factors in that? You've touched on the hitting and the pitching, but just elaborate more on that because this has become one of the more successful seasons, at least even during your tenure as a Yellow Jacket.
Well, clearly it's just the coaches have something brewing up. Sometimes I don't even know like what their plan is, but they're doing something right and they're putting us in the position in practice and in our preparation to get the job done in the moments that they have given us opportunities for. So I think we all, like every single girl on the team we all have different roles and we've very much trusted the process with that. And everyone has bought into what we're doing. And I just think the coaches know what they're doing and they've set us up for success in many moments.
And I think we've spoken previously in the past when you're a younger underclassman. Now we're talking to you as I think you're a senior. Are you technically a senior?
Yes.
Okay, I get confused, especially with the different eligibility years. But now, as an upperclassman, what's just changed on your role on the team and just your time at Georgia Tech? How does it feel now to be an upperclassman on a conference-winning team? How about you personally and just your development over the years?
Yeah, I think experience is huge on our team. A lot of the girls have a lot of experience, a lot of juniors and seniors in the lineup, which is just an advantage. I've seen a lot of these pitchers in the ACC a few times over the years, which so I know what they throw. Um, I just have been in all the moments you could think of on the field, so no moment is too big or anything like that. I guess just nerves are not a factor really. And just knowing it's your last year to be out there with your friends and have fun playing softball kind of just makes you want it that much more and that much more excited to go play and get stuff done. So
Yeah, and I'd be remiss also if I did not mention your defensive skills. You had a nice diving stop in the Louisville series and able to get a force. What about your defensive skills? Because I know that's something I'm sure you take pride in as well, and just your improvements and growth on the field as a fielder.
that play in particular has probably been hit to me 1,000 times by Coach Morales in practice. So kind of like second nature when she rips it down the line at me. So
Hmm.
I would just say playing on my home field with all the experience I have had um, at the MU and just knowing that preparation is on my side for sure. So um, it felt like second nature, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. And now you have Georgia State tonight or today, and then you have another conference series against Virginia Tech. How's the team just trying to progress and get better and continue this positive form as you progress through the season?
Well, we definitely know that the goal for us is postseason. So now it's just executing how we're going to get there. Every game from here on out is huge. So just remembering that and not using it as pressure, but just using it as a little bit of a push for us to execute our own personal jobs and not take a pitch off. So I think that's the motivation is how we're going to get a postseason from here and knowing that we have limited games as a team together and just trying to make them all fun and do the best we can. So
Yeah, what would that mean to make the NCAA tournament in your senior campaign and just continue the growth and development of the program?
Yeah, I think being a senior, making the postseason is, of course, the goal. You want to get as many more games as you can. Like, no one's ready to be done. No one wants to end in Durham at the AC tournament. Everybody's trying to make postseason. So I think it would just be seeing all the work we put in since the fall into effect. And that was my favorite memory from college, my sophomore year going to a regional. So I really hope this team has that experience. And now we just got to go earn it. But we're definitely prepared, and I think we can do that. So
Well, Mallory, thank you for your time. We greatly appreciate it. Good luck the rest of the season, and hopefully we can catch up in the future.
thank you so much.
And thank you once again to Mallory for speaking with us earlier today. And as you heard from her, Georgia Tech is off to a strong start to the ACC regular season. Well, in fact, they're more than about halfway through the season, maybe even further ahead than that. But very strong start for performance so far by the Yellow Jackets and Mallory in particular. Once again, to follow everything that we do, head to the mothership, the sportsinquirer.net, premier site for news and notes in the world of sports. You can also go to our social media platforms on YouTube, SoundCloud, and Spotify. And finally, YouTube's, you can see our content on YouTube, SoundCloud, and Spotify, but our social media platforms are on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and so many more. Either way, just look us up, the Sports Inquirer or Marcel Pursuit. And once again, subscribe, share, and like our content. We'd greatly appreciate it. Once again, thank you for listening or watching this latest edition of the Fighting Peaches. Until next time, good fight, good night, and be safe.